Like now? Are we going live? Are we live? Okay. Sorry, everybody. I don't know what happened. Some sort of a cable issue. Apparently it was all rotten at the post and waterlogged. And anyways, the cable guy just left. So thank you, Mr. Rogers. Appreciate it. Gonna have to mute that. Hold on. Like now? Like now. I'm so silly. All right, there we go. So excited for this show. OMGzers. There, happy to see you guys. Thank you. I know you guys have been waiting. Thank you very much for waiting. We really, really appreciate it. Your patience is a virtue. I just want to read some of your texts so I can catch up here. Oh, Angie. Oh, thanks. She's so sweet. I actually have a question for you, Angie. I missed what she said. There we go. Hello, Patricia. Hello, Judy and Becky and Sandra and Joe and Sassalette. You stayed up, so thank you very much. I know you said you wanted to, but you're sleeping in the middle of the night, so thank you for being here. We appreciate it. And Jen, thank you very much. Good day from Australia. Hello from Canada. Eh? we really do say it all the time. All right, so what I've got working on here is I've done a little bit of the border. Well, I've done a border, and I've worked in this shade of colors here. I'm not sure why the little camera's not working. Seems to be very delayed. Or maybe that's, I'm not giving enough time to catch up. So anyways, there's the ones we've already stitched. And I just stitched in the ditch around here. I'll come to this one so you can see it better. I just stitched all the way around, and then did a nice little peak in these little triangles. I came up and went back this way and there, and then just saying the same and the same. I don't want to mess with those. They were just too cute and pretty, and pretty much the only perfect triangles I had on here in this quilt. So I really wanted to keep them just the way they were. So I've done some fun stuff in the gray. We're going to continue to do some fun stuff in the gray here and fill her in. Yeah. So what's everybody up to? Oh, thank you, Angie. I'm glad you love the Texas quilt. Love it, love it, love it. And this was actually the little bits. Remember those little half squares, the only two that we had left over from these things? This is what I made, and that's going to be the pillow for one of the bed. Like, I'll make a pillow out of it. Maybe do a little bit of a piano key border on it. And then this was Weekend Project, this panel challenge from Angie. Absolutely love it. Fall in love with it. It's pretty much the size I need for my side of the bed. So it just may be my new quilt. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But I love it. Thank you very much. Hello, Anne, Rosetta, Wanda, and Patsy, Danica, Claudette, Grace. We're anxious to see you too tomorrow, Grace and Bella, very much. You're going to love your little quilt. It is so cute. So cute. And we've got lots of compliments on it too from people who've been here. Yes. So, should we get stitching? Watching watching from Anaheim, California. Is it nice there? Is it sunny in California? Maybe we'll do a quillo. Oh, is that like a quilt pillow sort of thing? Maybe. Yeah, I really like the text one. Beautiful quilts. Yes, thank you, thank you. And even the cable guy was very complimentary on what he's like, oh, because we said to him, you know, like, dude, you gotta get this fixed. We kind of live stream. There's people waiting. There is people waiting to see us in this quilt. They have watched for 5 weeks now to see what's going on, and they want to see this. So I will show you what I did on the border, and I took your suggestions and a little bit of thought of my own and recycling those gray triangles that I lopped off. So the other side, Pop's got a couple of pictures. He may post them, but if not, no big deal. But this is the other side. So hopefully you can kind of get that a little bit. Check that out. So I made it so like all these adult geese, kind of, sort of, were flying in the right direction, and all these rebellious little munchkins were flying any way they wanted. I kind of just did it this way and that way. I'm not sure why the camera closed there, but this way and that way, and had some fun. To me, I had no rhyme or reason which way I put two beside each other. I just made sure all the triangles were included that were in this sort of section. I kind of tried to group them up. I tried to group them up the best I could. Yeah. Why did it do that? That's so weird. Sorry, I apologize. Get some water here. Oh, very hot today? Oh boy. What did you, there we go. Got to see the borders. Excellent, thank you. Glad you like it. No, you didn't miss anything, Rowena. We were late starting, like by half an hour. So we appreciate everybody for sticking around. Thank you very, very much. Big hearts out to you. It turned out pretty good, didn't it? And if it wasn't for your guys' suggestion of trying to do that little flying goose all the way around, I didn't want to add any more to the top and the bottom because we were already at like 90. And I thought if we put another 10 inches, we're looking at like 110. And I'm like, okay, that's going to be a really, really long quilt. Though I have to say, when I had it hung up not too long ago behind me for a long arm Wednesday without the borders on it, I liked how it laid across the bed this way, like with the colors on the top and the bottom, not necessarily on the north and the south. It's more like an east and a wester sort of thing. So I really like that too. And I think if I were to make this for my own bed or for Papa and I's bed, of course it would have to be half because I'm blanket hogger. I may do it this way, and then we both get color. It doesn't matter. You know, he can have the blues and the creams, and I'll have the purples and the tans. It doesn't matter. Aw, thank you, Nancy. I'm worth the wait. It was a difficult one to figure out. And that's actually, Nancy, that was one of my problems of trying to read up on the text here, is how to not distract from the rest of the quilts. And I thought, okay, I only had so much of the fabric. I didn't want to go out and buy some. Thank goodness for Angie. She had those extra chunks to send me, or I wouldn't have been able to finish. And I just wanted to, yeah, like use the gray, because I had all those gray triangles. And I thought, okay, well, I can make a couple more geese. And then with the white, because I had lots of white left over from my 8-inch whites. So I just cut strips and filled it all in. That was it. And then just kind of made it so it looked like there was some sort of movement, but nothing too crazy, right? So we only stood around everybody. Ah, thank you, thank you. It was such fun. I mean, kind of hashing all these ideas out with you guys and figuring it out. It really was awesome. And I just kind of stepped away from it like we all did, because it was overwhelming. I mean, once I got it done and I was like, okay, hey, let's get on the border. And I'm like, okay, wait a second here. That's way too much color. That's a lot. Like, ugh. All right, we need to think about this. Really think about this. So I thought like grouping them together, and I kind of made like the big one, the mommy one, or the daddy one, and the little babies. I don't know. I'm just goofy that way. Okay, so we're going to start in our center here. Unfortunately, Walt does not, with the tray, I need the tray because I got my ruler plate here, my lovely apron from Angie made me. I'm going to fashion it off here. That's my belly. Fashion my apron. Got my little ruler here. So, and the ruler plate's on. So Walt doesn't come all the way down where I want him to. And I don't want to go all the way up here, because then I end up with a sore back. We don't want that. So, because then I'll whine, and we don't want me whining. So I'm going to work on 3. Move over here, because I should end up over here. Fingers crossed. Do these 3. Do those 3, and then I'll work on these other rebel ones afterwards. So, all right. So come over here. Just going to go get a little bit more water. Fabric store? It was an emergency. What sort of emergency, Rowena? I usually have zipper or elastic or some other thing that I just didn't have here. Okay, I've chosen in the white section with the colored triangles, I chose to use the linen, the same linen color that's on Bella's quilt. To me, it actually suited it. And I thought, you know what, I kind of wanted that little thread connection. I know it sounds kind of weird, but that's just who I am. So, because she's been watching this whole time too, and she's been learning and having a lot of fun. So anyways, goofy me. So I chose the linen for that, and it's the same on the back. I chose to change the thread color for the back as for the bobbin as well. And then for the gray parts, I actually I said to him, what should we do? And he says, you know, try that cool gray. You like that cool gray? I'm like, I like the cool gray. So that's what it is. It's a little darker than I had first anticipated when I first started stitching. But once I started, I wasn't unpicking, so it is what it is. Okay, so actually what I need to do first is mark where I want to come up with my ruler. Hold on, gotta find my little chalk. I heard Fabric calling my name. It does that to me too. Take a little chalk here, come on. Excuse me. Okay, well, I did put a backup one in my pocket if I needed it, but I thought, you know, at least get some sort of use out of this one first. There we go. Okay. So just on my little clear plexi, I've marked out a couple of inches just so it was easy to carry around just one little piece of plastic and not have to carry around two. So I was marking it at the 3 and the 4 inch mark. And sorry, 3, 4, and 2. I apologize because I realized we were on the gray ones and not the white ones. Sorry. That more to the center. Got tickle. Silly tickles. Okay, so 4, 3, 2. I'm going to do the same up here. I'm assuming that this edge right here is pretty darn square. I have a silly tickle. I need to like cough again or get some water. The ragweed. Well, I'm glad you guys all stuck around and you're loving the border, which is good because I worked hard on it and I was like, please look good. I want to make all these people happy that I work so hard. It's kind of hard to put a quilt together and be distracted at the same time. I think I did pretty darn good. So little prayers out for Texas. They are somewhat recovering. There's a lot of repairs and clean up in the works, that's for sure. And I did do a shout out on the weekend saying I'd happily quilt up quilts that were being donated down there. I just need to get a for sure contact down there to make sure that they're going to go to their proper destination where they need to go. So hopefully I can get some feelers out, Angie, and and we'll figure something out. Okay. Because I definitely, we like to help here. You guys know that. We like to help here at the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop. We got big hearts. We like to help. Okay, I'm just going to mark a couple. Actually, you know what? I'm going to mark them all because in that way, if I get in the groove, I'm just going to keep going. Okay. Get in the groove and keep going. I found that I had to stop every couple of it because of the way the angles were and I just couldn't get the, to fit. So it was kind of a little frustrating. So, all right. We've had some crazy weather here. First it was raining all last night, and then it was sunny and beautiful, and then the skies opened up and like the heavens came, and oh my gosh, you'd think we were having, massive storm going on, and then boop, the sun came out. I was hoping that that's probably wasn't the issue with the cable because, we were having issues a couple of days ago. I mean, for a weekend project, which usually, if it's about a half-hour shoot, it takes probably about 2.5 hours, 3 hours for a pop to do all that he needs to do and get it all uploaded and processed and doodads and blibbity blobs and all that sort of stuff that he does on his magical side. And so the video that was just shot the other day for the weekend project took like 12 hours. And we were like, what? What is going on? So we knew something was wrong. We were trying to deal with it before it got to today, but thank goodness they came out on a Sunday. And I mean, and such a nice gentleman too. Super nice. But it's all in how you treat people too, let me tell you. You treat them good. Oh yes, good, thank you. Good, Angie. I'm glad that's her house survived. What batting do I prefer? I'm at a mix. I really like bamboo. Bamboo's one of my favorites. I like it because it's very recyclable and it's a renewable source and it sticks together, and they don't have to use glue either or some sort of adhesive into some sort of, I don't know, bamboo cotton's my favorite. If I'm doing charity work and I know the quilt's going to get washed like almost daily, if not weekly sort of thing, or every other day, then polyester, definitely. It stands the wear and the tear of, you know, munchkins and charity quilts and stuff. So, hello, Anita. Happy to see you. Heidi ho from South Carolina. I'm sure there's a song like that. If not, we'll make one up. It'll be the next YouTube sensation. All right, a couple more to mark, and then we're going to do some stitching. Then we're going to do some stitching. Then we're going to do some stitching all the way to the other side. All right, and then I will mark this one. And we're almost there. And we're almost there. Okay, all right, so I can stick that in there. I'll start asking guilds, Laura Lynn, for proper donation locations. Thank you very much, Angie. Thank you, thank you. I've already been contacted by somebody. That's the reason why I'm kind of putting it out there right now. I know Weekend Project was just yesterday, but you know, I'm already getting some sort of feedback, and we want to help, and that's the fact is people want to help. I don't know where this lady was from. Mary was her name. So if she happens to pop into chat today, please say something. I'm not sure where you were from, but we're happy to help. I don't mind. You know, we got big hearts, like I said, big hearts. Never a dull moment with me. Sing it, sing it. How do you decide to free motion or computer when you quilt? I guess it depends on the quilt. Okay, if it's something I've made, I really have a tendency to want to put my stitches on it, whether they're in place or out of place, or it doesn't matter. I'm putting my stitches on it. If it's a donation quilt or a customer quilt, if they want it, it's just edge to edge. You know, a lot of the wall hangings, it depends. I do a bit of both. Sometimes I get something for waltz stitches out and then I highlight it, like the horse one that just got for the silent auction. And, you know, it really just depends on the quilt. I mean, whether it sings to you or not. If you really want to just highlight certain things of the block, like, you know, in here, I wouldn't have wanted a whole edge to edge to go all the way over here and be the same in this section as the same in that section. That was the whole individuality of this quilt to begin with, is it had that zones of the north and the south and the color in between. And I don't know, to me, it just sung, stitch me, figure out what you're going to do and stitch me up. So oh, actually, I kind of scored a little bit. I had a gentleman who was clearing out some of his stock. He had to move. And his wife, who passed 6 years ago, rest her soul, they had started out a bunch of tops. So I have a bunch of tops already. I am willing to get punched out there. So there's some boys, some girls, more kid-orientated stuff. But if I have to slap a couple of borders on it to big it up, or more squares or a couple rows or whatever, I'm more than willing to do that too. So, and I'm sure I can get some people to help. Welcome, Peggy. Love the live shows as I do everything. Oh, thank you very much, Peggy. Big hearts to you. Thank you for getting up early and having a cup of tea with us or something. Fried egg sandwich. Okay, we're going to get some quilting done. Let me find my little speckies here. And I've got my spaces already marked of where I'm going to come into with my little ruler. Okay. We're going to start from the left and work to the right. Not that it matters, because Walt is really not that picky. He doesn't care which way he goes. So I'm going to start up here. I'm going to leave these lines down here for being able to travel to other sections, because when I roll, I may have to come back or whatever to, you know, whatever. I'm just going to leave that bottom section as for that. So do our little locking stitches. Hopefully everybody can see okay. Hopefully that's not in the way there, Pop. Teresa, to be quilted. Oh, you guys are awesome. I love how we come together as a community. Let me tell you, a bunch of crazy quilters. Okay, so what I'm going to do is again, I'm going to come in from this point, come to the center point here, come back up to the second one, there, back to the third, and then down, and then repeat for the other side, and then either continue on to the next one or fill it in. I did fill in the first one with the gray with pebbles, big pebbles, little pebbles, it didn't really matter. I was trying to decide if I wanted to do that for the center one, so I guess we'll see when we get there. All right, so 12 stitches per inch. Let me just close something down here because it was in the way. Yes, you are at New South Wales, indeed. You're up at the wee crack of dawn. Up before the birdies. Oh, did I take it off the belts? Yes, I did. Okay. I have it off the belts. Oh, Pop said not to go too fast because it was doing some bouncing, so be patient. And because I know I have a 1/4 inch foot on the side of Walt here that I can't just come right to this corner with my plexiglass. I can't come all the way here or there. I need to come on the outside, so I know it's coming as close to that point as much as I can with that 1/4 inch, right? You know, not all of them are going to be bang on, but I'm going to do the best I can. Okay, stop there, pivot my top part to the next spot, keeping my bottom nice and firm. And then stopping at what we would assume or think is the halfway spot. And then making sure to tweak it on the other side, giving yourself enough room to come into that point. Okay, and I'm going to shift my little plexi down just a smidge. Tilt the outer up to the next point. Shift the plexi. Okay, and then move it all the way down to here. And I'm going to come up on the other side. Okay, and I can either do the outside first, the inside first. It doesn't really matter as long as you just get them done. It's close to thereof. I'm not, you know, one's a little lower or higher than the other. I'm not panicking. I don't care. It's all going to look awesome in the end. Okay, and then twist the outer one, the outer point. Come to there. I kind of want to just mimic the continuous flight of, because it seemed like this was such a flighty kind of quilt, and you know what I mean, like I just wanted to, the whole little birds or planes, trains and automobiles, I don't know. Okay, and then back over there. Move my little plexi. Okay, and then this is where I would come down and right in that seam to make that square. Okay, and then do the next one. Okay, and I'll stop and read comments as soon as this one's done. Hopefully I don't miss anything. Do we like it so far? I hope so. Am I going okay? Too fast, or we're good? Okay. Okay, what we got going on? Call's Quilt Books magazine. Ever since I was this yes, they do. They make some. Sorry, they make some great magazines, and they have some great patterns in it too. I can see. Let's move this over a smidge. There we go. I used to rulers, and my just keeps me from buying. Yeah, I'm just getting used to rulers. I'm the first year with Walt. I just kind of played just completely free motion and lived by the seat of my pants, or put an edge to edge on it, you know. And then when it was the quilt show at the International Centre in Toronto, I picked up a couple of little templates, oval and moon shape. I think, yeah, oval and moon shape. And I thought about using them in here, but I didn't really want that I curve. But then I put curves in it anyway, so you know what? It doesn't really matter. It is what it is. All right, stitching on. What's the design called you were quilting? Filling in the gray spot. I don't know. I'm just kind of putting some stuff together. I really don't know, Heather. I'm just having some fun. Just doing some artsy fartsy stuff. It's probably called echoed points or something fancy, and I just don't know it. I just thought it was a good way to travel, and it looked kind of cool. And like I said, I was trying to keep it the little flighty bits to look like it was moving, whether it be north, south, east, or west. You know, that's kind of how the geese all fly. Any way the wind blows. I see them going in big circles around where we are. Okay, so I can come up on this side to frame the block. Oops, get back in here a little bit better. And start from the top on this one. There we go. We were very happy it was an issue that at least the cable guy could fix it, at least temporarily or somewhat. Apparently we weren't doing the upload as the highest number as we were hoping or something like that. So hopefully the feedback is still okay. And just point to the other tip. I used white chalk on the gray and erasable dry erase or disappearing ink. Sorry, not dry erase. On the whites or the creamy colors or whatever that was. Okay. All right. Oops. I probably went the wrong way on that. That's okay. Actually, no, because I have to come over to here anyways. Probably should have started off the bottom. That's okay. Tied off anyways. We'll come over here. continue on. So if I come down here, should be good. The wind's really picked up out there. I like it. I have only tied quilts and stitched in the ditch quilt so far. What would be an easy design? Oh, loops. Loops. Easy. You can go backwards, forwards, upside down, any way to get in a spot, backtrack, cross over again, because you're already crossing over with the loops. Nobody's going to see or care. Loops, swirls, E's and L's. Yeah, E's and L's. We did that on a border of a QOV, Quilt of Valor. Yeah. Tension on the machine. Yeah, that's... Yeah. Leadfoot Larry not showing up, I see. Oh, is it because I was going slow? Have to. Sometimes. Exactly. Yeah, and that's good too there, Nancy. Meandering is pretty forgiving too. I'm going to Claire's house. She's got bread and cookies on the go. We'll be over shortly. I like milk. All right, let's get some. Let's try and at least make it to the end of the row. Okay. Deep, deep, deep concentration. Can you guys see it quilting up okay? It looks all right. Pop was really kind of concerned about it. We've got some sort of fancy-dancy jury going on with the camera. We went out and made sure we got Gorilla Tape. We dragged my girlfriend Helen out for breakfast this morning, belated birthday breakfast. And we're dragging her off to the store to grab some Gorilla Tape. And she's like looking at us going, what are we doing? How come we're not just going home? So you gotta go get some super duper tape for the live stream. And she's one of my friends who doesn't even sew, but she watches like pretty much 90 to 95% of my videos, and she doesn't sew, knit, crochet, or anything, but she still watches them, and I think that's just so really sweet of her. Oops, a little wobbly there. I was hoping it would just add some movement. It would add some movement throughout this gray section and not look all boring. Seems like I'm off the center on that one. What was I drinking? Oh well. Okay. Okay. Woohoo! All right. Let's catch up for a moment here. Oh, hold on, Claire. Actually, here's the decision for the border. Oh, he's kind of in the way, but hopefully you can see it. What do you think of that? Kind of like the mommy and daddy and the little babies all crazy around. I like it. I like it. Can you put on mute for a second? Have a bee.
Put it on the slideshow.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, be right back. Too funny. Too funny. Did that answer the question? Nice. Awesome. Good, good, good. Okay, so we're coming up on the other side here. To the other section. to stop for a second. Thanks, I see on the borders, I'm not sure where. Wow, Angie, really? Oh my goodness. That is so cool. Good luck, exactly.
I wanted to ask if you've decided what next Sundays will be.
Oh, what next Sunday's live stream? I'm trying to think, okay, do we just skip right into Christmas and do away with fall? Fall's early for us, like as in Thanksgiving and fall fairs and all that sort of stuff. It's in October. It's like, you know, I think it's the 9th, 8th or 9th or something this year. So it's like, boom. Usually it's in November in the United States around my birthday, which I love turkey. It's a great birthday present. So I'm thinking, do we do something? I think we're going to do something fall first. Let's get something pumpkin-y and fall-y, maybe a couple of days working on some pumpkin blocks and maybe, I don't know, a sunflower block or something like that and put them all together. Maybe make a table runner or something like that. And then we'll skip into the Christmas. I really want to get a tree skirt done and I want to get a Christmas quilt done. And whether I'm inclined to have different blocks for Christmas quilts. I like seeing a picture in each one, and that's why we did one for last year. Was each block was different. I think we did 12 weeks before Christmas or something like that. We started it, so I really would like to do something like that, Christmas orientated, fall and then Christmas. So I will have to find a pattern. We will actually post it to Facebook. If I can find one that I really like and want everybody to help come and sew along, that would be awesome. I always try and look for free ones. If you happen to have one, there's actually a couple of CDs headed my way with a bunch of free patterns on them. I will look as soon as it comes in the mail. Judy's, thank you for that. And we'll work with it. Hopefully there's some fall ones on there we can pull from and everybody can share, or I can get you to the website or so forth. So, I'm happy to see Grace's quilt. It's an Irish chain, scrappy. One of my favorites. I love scrappy quilts. I'm so excited. She's probably excited to give it to me. I'm just as excited to take it. She said I could have fun with it. So I'm going to make her pretty. If she doesn't mind, maybe it'll be a longarm Wednesday. If she's okay with that. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry you had to drive your daughter to work. We are in your next spring, so Christmas would be great. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, let's put her on these last little bits here and get to the end. The more I'm actually stitching these out the way they are, the more I'm liking leaving them. I did some circle pebbles on the outer ones, but I'm really liking these ones just plain the way they are. So I may just leave them the way they are. I just like that little extra movement. It's nothing too busy. It's not distracting from the eye in the center part here. We'll see. We'll see how I get to the end and how I feel. Yeah, there's lots of fall ones. Like maybe a couple of leaves, different types of leaves, like the acorn and maple and maybe a spruce and, you know, some, I don't know, spruce have a, I don't know, whatever. We'll figure it out. But that sort of thing, maybe that could be surrounding. We put a couple of pumpkins and a vine and sunflowers and a hay bale, or I don't know, something. We'll figure it out. And I like trying to do our own thing too, because, you know, we're fancy and we're smart that way too. We can come up with our own pattern. We can put our own flair on things. Longarm Wednesday is going to be the stacking tumble block. So I'm happy to quilt that up. Haven't quite decided what I was going to do in that one either. It's not very big. It's just a little piece because that's all of the pink I had. And I wasn't sure if it was going to turn out. So I thought, okay, I didn't want to cut huge yards and yards when I had that such pretty little pink to use. So I used it up. I'm not sure you could actually do that block, that stacking block. Actually, let's get a little thought on here. Oh, bye, Deborah. Have a great day at work. I know that's probably, you know, hard to say, but try and have a good day at work, and we'll be here when you get back. What was I talking about? I forgot. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, it's stacking tumble block. Thank you. Thank you, Claire. I don't think that one would do well as a scrappy one. That's why I tried to pull out some scraps at first, light tones and dark tones, and I'm like, I don't know. That's not going to look good. That's going to look weird. It's not going to look like a stack and tumble block. I guess you may have to just try it, so. But I do want to make a bigger one of those, like a big size, like a wall hanging, maybe even a bigger size piece together, because I used 2.5 for that block itself, and I think maybe 3.5 or something like that would make it nice and big and pretty cool. Be a fast quilt to put together, you know, if you had all your stacks in a row the way they're supposed to. So, and cut those little tips off, definitely. Kind of wish I would have done that before I'd even started most of them. But hey, you know, lesson learned. Learn something new every day. I had the cutest company on Friday. My girlfriend, unfortunately, her and her whole family had to go to a funeral. So, and her babysitter had taken the Friday off for the long weekend. There was no babysitting going on. So, you know, Daddy was home with the munchkin, and, you know, the other one was at camp. So there's me and a 2.5-year-old hanging out for like 4.5 hours. I was so tired. I was so tired at the end of those 2.5 hours. I think I was in bed by what, 7:30, 8 o'clock that night. I'm like walking around like a little zombie going, he sucked all the energy out of me. I don't know. Like, I was so tired. I slept good though. Chasing one of those around for a few hours, and you haven't done that in a while. Yeah. But we had fun. Went for a walk, explored all the gardens on his property, went to the park. It was good fun. Good fun for me. He seemed to be fine with it. And at least he could kind of communicate. I mean, he wasn't saying full sentences and stuff, but me talking to him, he could say yes or no, because he clearly knew what I was saying. So, you know, are you hungry? Do you want to go for a walk? Do you want to go play? You know, play ball? And he's like, yes, no, yes, no. So, I mean, at least there was some sort of communication there. And I was a little worried because sometimes his, you know, mommy and daddy are the favorites, and sometimes maybe, you know, doesn't really want to hang out with Laura Lynn. But no, he was fine. He was actually really, really good, and I was so happy. I was like, whew, just be a good little munchkin, please. We could be the best of friends. So not only did he wear me out, I rode my bike to her house so I could babysit, and then we walked from her house to the park, which is about 35-minute walk. Then the park, and then walked back, and then I rode my bike home. So yeah, I was exhausted. But it did remind me of when Munchkin was that small, that's for sure. So inquisitive and so adventurous, and, you know. they're so cute. And they're only so little for so long. That's the thing. Just so little for so long. Oh, got a Sophie hair on there. In school on Tuesday, I know lots of people have already started where they are, but Tuesday is a go, go, go for us, and parents are running around like chickens with their heads cut off, and so, I'm sorry, it's a little funny and comical for me. Because I used to be one of those parents. I like this actually time of the year because I personalize backpacks, and I can personalize pencil cases and all that sort of stuff. So some kids got like 12 Britneys in the class. Not that I think Brittany's a popular name anymore. I don't think so, is it? I don't think so. I don't think I've heard Brittany for a young name. All right, last one on this row. Awesome. Oh, what's this? Grandkids are the best. Oh, I'm waiting. Once he gets his stuff together, he might. Mine's 21. Yep. 21. I got nothing. Besides, he drives me a little cuckoo. But I'm not sure it's, just hormonal or something. So, 12 Britneys. You never know. I think there was one class, there was, 2 summers and an autumn. And I'm like, keeping the comments to myself. I would love to be a grandma. I'm ready. Well, maybe not quite totally ready, but there he is. See, I know he knows I love him. But I would love to, yes. Very happy to. Whether it's fur babies or otherwise, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. Just want him to be happy. So cute. All right, now guess we could roll it a little bit and I can get these other ones done. So let's tie off. Get these oddballies done. Okay. Unclamp, unclamp. Golly. I love that golly. I met a lady, geez, I was probably maybe about 10 or 11 myself. And I remember her saying, because she lived with her daughter and her grandkids and everything. So she says, my grandkids just call me Mama Doll. And I go, why did they call you Mama Doll? Mama do all. Because she did everything around the house. So I thought it was funny. But like, do I want to be called Mama Doll? I don't know if I want to be called Mama Doll. Mama do all? That's a little weird. That should be a good enough space to work in. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Still at home. Love him dearly. Oh, what made you decide on Gamble over? That's a good question, Julia. Well, I had a couple of options, okay, and I don't really do well with crowds. I feel like they're sucking up my oxygen, and I'd rather just, not. So I didn't go into any quilt shows. I didn't go to any big, massive gathering where all the long arms were. We did a lot of research, a lot of reviews and feedback, and whenever Papa and I try and make an investment into anything, it's always done a lot of research, that's for sure. So I liked the stability of Gamble. It'd been around for a very long time. They were constantly making improvements. They were constantly making, not constantly, like constantly, but I mean, they were trying to, as the times were changing, they were changing with it, sort of thing. We did see Anova. We went down to almost to the border crossing there, St. Catharines. I forgot, there's a Quilting Bee or the Bee Quilters or something like that. Anyways, unfortunately, they've closed now. So they just actually sell. And we saw and we played and we looked and I felt and I stitched and I sewed and I wasn't overly thrilled. And then we went and we contacted the Gamble dealer. And unfortunately, at the time, I worked 6 days a week and I only had one day off, which was Sunday. And they weren't open on Sunday. So I contacted them and I said, hey, is there any way that you could stay open later on a Saturday? Because by the time I could get there, it wouldn't be until 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock or something like that. My only day off is Sunday. And he said, well, why don't you just come down Sunday? And I was like, what? I'm like, are you sure? He goes, yeah, we'll open up the shop for you. I'm like, that right there to me was like, whoa, wait a second. This guy's willing to open up the shop for us to come and take a look at these, $50,000 pieces of machinery. And we're driving a long way. We drove 3 hours there and 3 hours back. So and he knew we were going a long way. And just the way they kind of stood behind the machine and it was always there to, they were going to be there. If we needed any help, they were there. And just the whole kit and caboodle package they were, willing to give us as a, startup for the business of the mom and pop quilt shop, that sort of thing. It really was a deciding factor. It's, we could have went and researched more, could have done more, could have done this, could have done that, but I'm happy with the choice. I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't give Walt up for nothing. Took it out. And like I say, we could have went to APQS, could have went to, a 16, just a mid-arm or something like that. But we chose to go big or go home. Might call me Crazy Granny. Wow. Oh my gosh. That's a lot of babies. I don't know if I can handle that many babies. That's a lot of babies. Do. All right, need my chalk pen. Put that down over there. Stick it in here. That'll do. That'll do. Do. All right, so what was it? And there. And then yeah, that was a lot of fun these past 6 weeks, I have to say. You know, making that project or this project for Lawrence and Tanya. And where's my other one? That doesn't want to seem to run right very well. What did I do with it? Oh, it was hiding in there. Thinks you should have named, well, Felicia. Yeah, no. It's Walt. It suits him. There we go. That's a better chalk pencil. Okay. Well, guess I don't need to actually move that around. I'm so used to dragging the arm around with me. Do do do. Down. Mark these out. Alrighty, that's all there. Let's put that and that in there. $48, $45, and $40. Wow, 52 and 51. Oh, one day he'll get there. Okay, now I don't like how that's all weirdy, funky folded there. I have to pick that out and straighten that up. All right, let's do this. It's kind of weird being this close to you. Just poke you. It's like usually he's way across the table. Kind of wobbled there. Oh well. They won't care. That geese is going, it has a little bit of wing damage. Some crocodile tried to get it when it landed in Florida. Yeah, come straight up. Shift over. Yeah, if I can get the patterns all sorted out for the live stream on Sunday, I'll make a note on longarm Wednesday, okay? And we'll try our best to get that information out there as soon as possible so people can sew along. We'll try not to make it too complicated. You know, we want something fun and easy. I don't know if anybody followed along with this one. I would love to have seen it if you did. And there's enough material left over. I'm going to make myself another one. But I said to Pop, maybe we make it faster and just really big flying geese. I think he was like, I don't know. Maybe not. Okay. Oops, come back over. There we go. It's such a bright green, eh? I'm really liking that. What do you guys think? Like how that's turning out? It's quite fancy. Yeah, I thought I came up and down there for some reason. Didn't really want to overstitch. Okay, so okay, we'll start down here. Actually, no, we gotta start over here. Silly. It's not perfect, but I know they'll love it, and I'm happy with it. So Okay, that one's stitched up there. Okay. A little bit over here. Awesome. I like it. It looks really good. And then I'll do the same as I did down up at the top. Down in here, I will do the same points, but only do 2 of them. And then come around each the little shapes and then move on to the next one. That's exactly what I did up on the other one. Yeah, just my chalk marks. So where I kind of want either the top of the foot to go or close to thereof. It's not rocket science. I'm just having some fun. You know, I don't want to be too stressed out about it. So. Madam Gertie is done. Oh, did you talk to a tech? Oh, that's too bad. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you, Jean. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like it. Oh, what's Jen say? I love your engineer of using the plexiglass rulers. Actually, it was a great idea. I had a very nature-themed panel here that needed to get quilted up, and they didn't want an edge to edge on. Of course, I wouldn't put an edge to edge on this beautiful nature panel, and they really wanted some close stitching around, and not necessarily like stitching the ditch around it, but you know, enough that, anyways, I had a ruler and it had some sticky stuff on the back of it, and it wasn't working for me. I couldn't move it around fast enough or smooth how I wanted it on the surface like this. So it was a Saturday or a Sunday, and I knew I had to get the quilt pretty much done and ready to rock. I'd had it probably maybe about a week already, and I don't really like to keep things too long, so it's in and out. And I said to Pop, you know what, I need a ruler, and I didn't want to buy one. They're so expensive, and I only bought those ones just like the oval one and the moon shape one just recently. So we went to Home Depot, got a big enough plexi piece right here. Hopefully you can see that. A plexi piece that it wasn't going to go under the head at all. No matter which way I went, it wasn't going to go anywhere. And so I wanted something that had a nice angle like this, so I can get into corners or get into a point or something like that. I know that was a nice 90-degree point there. And then a curve. It didn't have to be a circle, it just needed to be a nice rounded edge, so I can kind of hug things or do this, and I, you know, follow it, and it's not such a harsh edge. You know what I mean? It has helped many, many times, and especially for that very nature-loved wall hanging. It outlined it perfectly, and I was very happy for the choice. So what cost us, what, 50 bucks? Or no, less than, I'm sorry, less than that, because we got a big chunk. Probably, what, 10 bucks? Maybe, if that, and I use it all the time. I only just put these marks on it for the show, because other than that I was using my ruler to mark, and I thought, okay, I'm going to only have like a couple of pockets, and so I didn't want to be, you know, rulers everywhere, so, because the other ones would stick up here. So, yeah, no, I'm really, 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 really liking it. Really liking how it's turning out. I had an idea. I'll chalk it out so you could see it, but I don't know. I kind of really like these sections just the way they are. So I can chalk it out. It's not gonna, can always rub it out. Was to come here and then a loop and then the under loop and then the under loop and the under loop and there and there. But see, I don't know. I'm not confident with that movement because I don't really know it all that well, and I do need to practice it. And I don't think I really want to just practice it on my friend's quilt. So I kind of like it just the way it's kind of turned out with this little plain section in here. And I'll do the big circles that I was doing on the outside edges. So actually I can roll that quilt a little bit and you guys can take a look at it before we end the shoot. And you can see the top part of what we got quilted up. Okay. Okay. There we go, and you can see a little bit. I'll come over the colored section first, and then we'll come up to the, but then I'll roll it again, and you guys can do the, and then I'll show you the border. So we'll come from this way, so you can hopefully get a nice good picture of it. Why is it stopped? Oh, because I'm rolling. Okay, sorry. I'm like, what's going on? Okay. Okay, well, we'll come to the other end, and you can see how I've filled in that spot, those spots up there, with the little circles and pebbles in between sort of thing. Okay. Come to the purple section. And then for the outside, I think I'm going to come back and do some stuff in the clear spot, in the white spots, the white zones, okay? And then I just kind of did smaller versions in the little chicks, in the little triangles, and then 3, of course, in the big colored ones. So this is where I was like, do I like this gray thread? Is it doing what I want it to do? But I think in the end, it's going to look really nice. So I really like how these have turned out and how this all kind of looks together between the two colors and the tones and stuff. So I'm very happy with that. So yeah, so that's how I'm pretty much going to plug away at all the other side of the quilt. That'll be it. So what color was the binding? Well, okay, yeah, good. Thanks, Teresa. I'm glad it's just the way it is. They did give me enough of this blue for the binding. And of course, I had another little chunk left over. But that was for the original size it was supposed to be. So I don't know if I'm going to have enough to do the whole quilt when it ended up being... I may have to color. I may have to color the binding, like do a bunch of different colors. So it ended up being, what was it, 93.5 this way. And then the other way was 96. No, it was a little less than that. It was almost square. It was literally like an inch from being square or an inch and a half from being square. So that's a pretty fair size. That's a lot of quilting on that too, you know, and I didn't want to do it crazy, and I didn't want to, as much as I would love to do it crazy, but, you know, for a 90 by 90 quilt sort of thing, you know, that's going to take forever and a day. So I may just kind of do a little bit of filling in here, something, tack all that down, maybe just a couple little, I don't know, shapes or something. I'll figure it out. Yeah. So very happy with what we've all accomplished and hanging out together. I've loved our Sundays. Make it to trim. And once I have it finished, I promise I will show it, and we post to Facebook, and we'll show it in other episodes of either Weekend Project or Long Arm Wednesday or something like that. So that's what I was. I didn't want to quilt. I wanted to complement it, not distract from it. And that's why I thought maybe these pebbles might fit in the center. Let's just have them on the outside, and then we'll leave that center the way it is with that funky design. So, Well, I thank you very much. I have a lot of fun. I really do. I like the gray. Well, it seemed a bit dark when it came up on these lighter peachy colors. I'm like, oh, maybe I should choose a lighter color. Scrap happy. Yep. Scrap happy binding. Well, I have enough. I have enough of the chunks. I can have like a good section of blue or trace it around or maybe make the corners all scrappy, you know, and then have the blue solids in between and then just make it from like here to here with all scrappies from that color section. Sorry. I'm gonna move my chair over here. So we can talk. And I can read and we can talk. I love it. I was a little, like I said, we were very confused on the border. I was very confused on the border. But I'm happy with what we came about with reusing those gray triangles. Because I don't think I would have had enough material otherwise. It just wasn't enough gray. So nice to be able to recycle something you were going to toss away. You wouldn't be upset? No? Yes, because you get to sleep in. Oh, hi, SPE. Was he around here? I don't see where he was. Oh, he's on his pillow. He's on the other side of the long arm. He's got a little bed over there. Excuse me. So what we were thinking about doing, like, of course, we want to do the Christmassy stuff. But as soon as that's done and over with, because we're going to be done pretty much like first or second week of December, I really want to work on that scrappy quilt. So I either have a box of scrappy stuff that was literally just given to me. Well, I bought it of the gentleman who's, like I said, his wife had passed away. So there's got lots of extra fabric and kits and, not kits, tops that were already done. Some drapery fabric, which make great insides to bags and fabric organizers and stuff like that. It's nice and sturdy. So, sorry. Sorry. Anyways, so, and there, a couple of these boxes are all pre-cut. And he has one that says it's a leaf and a flower. Actually, on next Sunday's live stream, I'll get the box and maybe you can help me figure out the pattern, because the few pieces that I saw, I don't know how it was going together. I was really baffled. And he goes, oh, just put this, this, and this. And I'm like, it still wasn't making much sense to me. So I'm sure maybe something I just have to see, but, thank you. Thank you. Can you tell me what time you start live time in the UK, please? Keep up the good work. 6 o'clock, 3 p.m. our time, and I think you guys are what? 8 p.m. Yeah, I think you guys are 5 hours, so it'd be 8 p.m. your time. 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Something like that. I'm happy it looks good. I'm very happy with it. And I can't wait. My next, I have 3 favorite spots. Like when putting a quilt together, there's 3 of like the highlight moments of the quilt is when the top is done and or like you're sewing the blocks together, but you're working on the top. The second is when it comes to the long arm and it comes off the long arm. And the last is when you put the binding on and you give it to who it needs to be to. That's, to me, it's like, boop, boop, boop. Happy, happy, happy. Give, give, give. It's like, had so much fun putting it together, and I had so much fun quilting it, and now I get to give it to you. And, of course, I'll hand stitch the binding. Oh, of course. But what do you think of that? What do you think of that little color binding idea with the blues on the solids? So like ups and down, the east and the west, and then the colors on the corners of kind of this zone. Because I don't really want to pull. I don't want to pull colors away. That's why I chose to do the border the way I did. I didn't go slap some burgundy down here with the peaches and stuff like that, and the mustards. I try to keep it all together. So if we do a little bit of a chunk, 5-inch or 6-inch chunk, working away around the edges, that would kind of add a little funkiness, wouldn't it? Aw, thank you. A puzzle? a puzzle, we can definitely help play with that. Chocolate chip cookies. All right, Claire, that's it. We're coming. Later. Bye, people. Get another plate. Make it 2. Pop's coming. What did you use? Oh, I chose wide back from Stonehenge. Hold on, I will get so you can see the color, because it's a bit hard to see. Oh, we were talking about you there, kitty cat. Eh? Want your 5 minutes of fame? Here, I'll show it on the little camera here too, so you can see it. So that's Stonehenge right there. And I think it would suit it because the gray threads, it would tie into the gray. I didn't want to do it too dark, and I didn't want to do it too light. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, good. I'm glad you guys are kind of all on track with the... I had thought of getting a flannel. I did, but I thought flannel and then the bamboo. That might be a bit heavy for this 90 by 90. So, I don't know. So, yeah, that's pretty, eh? I really like that. It suits it. It suits it very well. And, of course, the wide back is what, 110, 109 or something, 109 or whatever. So there was plenty enough. Apparently, Clive, Mr. CLIVE, wants his time. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on, the peoples want to see you. Oh, don't stretch. He's a big sucky baby. There he is. Oh. Okay, you don't have to give me tough loving. There we go. Such a big suck. The peoples are this way. There's the peoples. Look at the peoples. Can you guys hear them? Flannel, maybe. It's like maybe pajama fabric or something like that. It's got that really soft, fluffy, not fluffy, really soft, fuzzy texture because it's cotton. It's all cotton. It's flannelette cotton. And it's got a bit of softness to it, a little bit of floofiness. So if I've actually used a thick flannel that was made for diapers and stuff like that. It was actually a chunk left over, and I put that into a wall hanging because I wanted the extra loft of it. So what else was I going to use it for? Ow! Clearly he didn't see Quilt Mod loving the cat. See? I'm not sure what flannel is called. Flannelettes, yeah? Or there we go. Flannelette. Same thing, yeah. Yeah, flannelette, flannel. Just don't use polar fleece. That stuff itches. Well, to me anyways. He's such a big suck too. Right? Such a big suck. The Quilt Mod, his familiar, has been house sitting and doggy sitting for a neighbor, so he's been our weird wackadoodle feline for the past 2 days. Clearly has been missing the loving from the kid. You're so funny, Clive. He's got one white whisker. It's like one white whisker right here. He's getting old. He's got a bunch of little bitty hairs, and he's got a white on his chest. We call it a little bow tie. Right? You good? Done with the loving? No? Don't put your bum in my face. I don't want that. Ow! He's like nesting or something. Okay. Off. Whew, you're tough. You be meanie sometimes, you claw mommy. Where's Sophie? Where's Sophie go? Is she laying in her bed? Sophie! There she is. Are you sitting in your tail? Hi, baby. Come on. Up here. Paws up. Come on. Come here. Come say hi to the peoples. There we go. There's the Loafy. You're such a good girl. Go sniff. You're such a good girl. We went and visited her buddy today. She hadn't seen him in a while. Running around the backyard. She was looking so cute. Yes, you were. Yeah. Thanks. All good? Yeah, kiss the cat. We adopted him when he was 3 or 4. They weren't quite sure. And that was 8 years ago. So, I don't know, 11, 12, something like that. We kind of give him the average. So come old man. Yeah, they both are great animals, honest to goodness. I'm very lucky. I have to say it's a lot in how they're treated too. They are very much loved and spoiled rotten around here. Pop's nodding his head. Both of them are. Spoiled with love, because if you don't get an animal if you can't love it. Really? It's not there to do a job for you. It's there just for you to love it and for it to love you in return. So, and they do. I get joy out of Sophie every day just by playing Frisbee with her. She makes me laugh. I mean, the way she does her like pirouettes in the air trying to catch it like she's Little Miss Fancy Pants or something like that. And she seems genuinely mad at herself if she doesn't catch the Frisbee. You can see like, it's like this big, she picks it up and brings it back to you, you know. I don't know. It's probably just me and Doggy, but it's okay. Actually, it's getting mailed to her via Tuesday. Unfortunately, I did not get to the mailbox. Heather White asked about Mom's wheelchair bag. It will be coming in the mail this week. Unfortunately, I was supposed to mail 2 things, a Canada quilt and my mom's bag. So I kind of wanted to make some cookies or something and put it in at first, but I just did not. The time this week went like crazy. You know, I'm trying to shoot the longarm Wednesday and then weekend project, and then I knew I babysat all day, pretty much most of Friday, so, and then was exhausted. And yesterday went by so fast. Yeah, dogs have masters, cats have support staff. And they are very sweet, like the cat and the dog, and they welcome anybody who comes into the house, as Angie can tell you, and Grace can tell you, and Bella can tell you in the chat here, and they just want loving. There's lots of treats where, you know, where they are. I thought maybe I was getting unexpected company. Has a tendency to jump up on you when you're not really expecting it, and then you end up with fur face. Brushed cotton? Maybe that's it. That could be it. That could be it, Teresa. Brushed cotton. Maybe. I don't know. No, just loving this quilt. Was working on it a bit yesterday, and well, it got tacked down. I think it was Thursday. Thursday I got some real progress done on it. Wednesday and Thursday I got some progress done on it. The border's done. I put it away for a couple of days. I kind of did a little thought on the Sunday and thought, you know what, I'm just going to put it away and let it think about everything that you guys said, all the suggestions that were going around, and the color pops, and not to take away from the side, and not to mix up the colors, and all that sort of thing. And obviously between us, we came up with a fantastic idea. So thank you very much. Big hearts, big hearts. 2 fur puppies, Snuggle Bunny. Maltese. Oh, they must be. Those are big dogs, aren't they? Are Maltese big dogs? Maltese? I don't know. Love the borders on the quilt. Also the Texas quilt in the back. Isn't it beautiful? This Texas one. That was Angie. She was in the chat. I'm not sure if she still is, but when she came up the second or third time she came up for a visit, she brought me this little challenge kit in a box and had everything, all the fabric, all that out in there. And there's enough to probably make maybe a couple of placemats or something like that I know my mom would actually love, because like I said, I grew up in Calgary, so that was like Texas of the North. You know, I think she would like that little country little kick and make her a couple of placemats for herself. In the pattern, it says to use the same material to surround each block, but Angie gave me so many fabrics to choose from that I really like that red and blue combination of switching them out, because your red, white, blue is completely American, or you're not coming up here. So I really like that little pop of color. It was a little something different. It wasn't the neutral tone of the pattern itself. And I like the pop of the little creamy colored. I could have chose that to surround all my blocks. I could have chose the rope and the hat and the cow print and stuff and chose the other stuff for the outside, but I like the way it came out. So can you quilt on a home machine? If so, what is the best way? Oh, yeah, okay. Thank you, Judy. I wasn't sure how big those were. A 5-pounder. Sounds like you're catching fish. Got myself a big 5-pounder. Sorry, SP, for quilting on a home domestic machine. Actually, I have, hold on, I got my old Janome right here. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to put it up on the rail. I'm not going to stick it on the quilt. You roll your quilt as halfway. You pick your halfway point of where you want to do. Don't do anything too big, like queen or smaller. I'd try smaller than a queen as your first time out. Go for maybe a lap quilt or something like that. Or if you're just practicing free motion, go for a placemat. Just make a placemat, something for your dogs. It doesn't matter. The dog has a placemat, the cat has a placemat. Everybody's got a placemat around here. And roll it. Roll it really tight, pin it, clamp it, whatever it is that you can get. Get in the halfway point. Work that halfway out or halfway into a corner. Halfway into a corner. But you're always going to have a lot to shove in this neck hole here. So make sure you can, if you have or have the option to buy a machine, make sure it's got the biggest throat or neck as possible. If you really want to do your free motion on your domestic machine or quilt your machine, quilt at home. There's also feet that help feed dogs, which help feed the top and the bottom at the same time when you're doing that quilting stuff. So you're not getting any puckers or folds or any weird wonkiness on the bottom of your fabrics, or even sometimes on the top of your fabrics. That is good too. Also, it's like a Silpat mat. I'll show you. It's right here. A second here. It's a little slider mat, and it sits right on there. Right on here. It sits right in here. You cover just the whole of your machine, because it gives you that gap to get in and out of. And you put your free motion foot on, and anything that you put on here fabric wise is going to slip and slide, and because it's not touching your feed dogs. So even if your feed dogs, even when dropped, they're just riding the edge, like you can just feel them or something like that. Like you can obviously feel mine right now, but that's definitely a key point, is to, you know, grab the couple essential parts, even the machine or gloves. They're grippy, or even gardening gloves. Go to the dollar store and get a pair of rubber tipped, rubber whatever gloves. I choose white if you can, or a neutral tone, just in case you don't want any dye transfer. So, and use those. As long as they're nice and clean, you can use those to help maneuver your fabric all the way around. What's this? Oh, about the doggies? Yeah, exactly. Placemats, baby size, mats, you know, twin size, you know. They barn spoiled. Oh, they are. Yes, I'm sure. I think all our dogs are. Really? Dogs and cats and rabbits and squirrels and anything we seem to take on like that. That's the one. That's the one I have, Janome, and just invested in a slider. There we go. Perfect. That's a good Janome size. It's a good weight too. I find some of the newer sewing machines, they're too light. They're too light. They're bouncing across the table like I'm trying to do some sort of disco, and I don't want a disco. I want to sew. If I wanted a disco, I'll put the disco on and off we go with the Bee Gees, you know, like, so they are sweet. They're big cuddle buddies, that's for sure. And yeah, the gloves are a good idea. They make, if you don't want to invest in the machiners, like I say, at the dollar store, I know have gardening gloves with little rubber tips on them, and so on and so forth. The same thing, you know. If you're worried that it's going to transfer, then I don't know, maybe turn them inside out or something. I don't know, but you know, if so, then if you're really interested in the whole free motion, then invest in the gloves and the little slider mat. That's the best things I can suggest to you, and take your time. Mark it out, work a little section at a time. Don't be overwhelmed. Don't look at this whole quilt and go, oh my gosh, how am I going to quilt? I don't even know where to start. You start at one little section and you work your way to the next. That's it. Just focus on what you can see, what's in front of you, and move on. If you want to do something different and weird in every little section, then it's yours. Do whatever you like. I'm trying. Oh, cool. No, what is that? Cool. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm like trying to. I could not figure out that acronym. I'm sorry. If you hold your mouth just right, I usually find if I stick my tongue out, that's deep concentration. I'm surprised I didn't do it on camera here. They are easy. I've seen them. I've done, I think, one or two myself. But I don't know. I just like that whole putting it all together, putting the top down, putting the pins in, or hand stitching, or basting, or what have you, and off you go. Oh, I didn't realize you were from Texas too, Judy Lee. Found spray basting helps a lot. Yep. No, it has to be a certain spray base though. The one that we used up here was a 505. Expensive though. I have to say, it was before we got the long arm. I did a couple of quilts for Pop's aunts. One had just had surgery, and the other one, actually, I think they both had surgeries, didn't they? I think, yeah, they both had surgery, so I wanted to get two of them done up. Unfortunately, we were heading to an uncle's funeral, but so I wanted to make sure that they were going to be ready for them because they live many, many hours away. And I thought, okay, well, I'll hop off to my local store, blah, 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 and didn't even look at the price of the cans. Just popped them in the bag, whatever, because I knew I had two big size ones to do at least, right? So I thought, got some fabric, got this, got that, went up to the till, and it was like, my bill was like astronomical because it was like $22.99 for the tube of spray. And I thought, what? But you know what? It's worth it. If you can find a deal, then go for it. But if you don't want a pin or you don't want to have to deal with it, trying to get on the floor and do this and do that, yeah, do the spray base. And use dollar store foam tubies, those tubes that you can, float around in the pool and stuff like that. They're great for wrapping your backing, your batting, and then your top. Roll all three of them, lay them out together, spray, roll, spray, roll, spray, roll. Bob's your uncle. Done. Instantaneous. You need an elephant one bite at a time. Exactly. Ooh. Have you done a total I haven't done a total rebuild on a vintage quilt. I have replaced pieces in quilts, especially it was one type of fabric throughout the whole quilt. It had a lacy base to it. Disintegrated literally as I was taking it off, it was disintegrating in my hands. So I just replaced it with a tougher fabric that was going to hold up to the wash and the wear for the rest of the quilt. I do have two more to actually tweak and repair, but they're just literally stitching things back on. They seem in pretty good condition. There's nothing that I actually have to replace fabric wise. But if I had to, and if they wanted older fabrics to be incorporated into the vintage quilt, then hit the like the Sally Ann's and those secondhand stores and stuff like that, and see and look through all the old shirts. even dress jackets and dress pants and stuff like that that have that same feel and texture and look or like to whatever vintage quilt you're working on or fabric wise, and match it up the best you can and go from there. I just took pictures of a bunch of things, and of course fabric was given to me from the people of what they wanted it replaced with. So, and as long as it was tougher. There was one fabric that was thin, I just doubled it up. I figured, okay, you know what, this seems kind of, I want to double it up. There was enough of it to double it up, and I think we talked about that when the quilt was dropped off. So, the biggest table I have is the one you see me working on. I've used the floor. I've used the floor of the church. I've used my neighbor's floor up the road on her kitchen after her house cleaner was there, and I knew she was there that day, and I said, can I come over and use your kitchen floor? Because I didn't have any spray base at that time. I had to pin, so it was, and I knew she had tile floor, so it wasn't gonna, you know, gouge out her wood or anything like that. So because there was just no space in my house to do anything. Like there was nothing to lay out that huge, you know, I think it was the one I made for your sister. It was a Harlequin diamonds with a small little border with cornerstones and little sashing and everything. It was all, it was beautiful. Like, I hope she still thinks it's beautiful today, but it was one of my very, very favorites, because I also recycled some of Pop's and my sister-in-law's mom's fabric that she, you know, wore all the time, jammies and stuff like that, into the quilt. So it was a block, and it was very textured and fun. And I know she'd know immediately that I recycled some of Mom's fabric into the quilt for her. So she always was connected with Mom. So mother-in-law. Yeah, floor. Yeah, it's getting hard to get. That's why I went to the church, because I think actually I tore something in my knee or sprained my ankle or something, and asked if I could set up a couple of those big, I think they were 2.5 feet wide, maybe 3 feet wide by 5 feet long, put 4 of those together, laid it out, tacked it down. It took me a little while to fight with it, because as soon as you pull one way, it went over onto the other side, and I wish I'd had a couple of clamps to at least clamp on the bottom or the backing fabric into place and stuff, but hello, Jenny. We were very late today in the startup, so we're only running about 2 hours right now, I think. So yeah, just over 2 hours. Actually, I didn't even think we were going to make it this long. We've been working on this. This was the border we ended up for the quilt. Very, very much collaboration with everybody, and it was very much appreciated. Race time. Bye. Vroom, vroom. I don't know. Horses? Ooh. Maybe. Pop's feeding me lies now. Hello from Wyoming. Yeah. No, we had fun. I had a lot of fun in this. I'm actually going to roll it to see where we were, so I don't get confoozled. See where we were. Do, 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 do. There we go. That'd look awesome. Loving that. I'm so glad I actually didn't put the circles in there. Yeah. Here we go. And then we'll stitch all this. This takes a little bit more time because it's flipping and flopping and flipping and flopping. So we won't save that for next week. We'll start off with something fresh and new. Very excited about working on something for fall. Yeah, and I really like the backing. The backing complements it. It really does. I think it looks really good. Is it candle wicking? White on white. I'm going to... Oh, I don't know. Bye, Anita. See you later. Oh, here. You must have saw the borders. Actually, I could show you here, just in case you didn't see it there. What? What do you think? I think it turned out really, really well. And I kind of put some ahead of the game and some behind the game, and you know, it's kind of like the birdies, the little birdies are flying here and there, and the mums and the dads are all straight focused. Yes, very happy with it. Very, very, very happy. Nice sound effects. I try. I try. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that's it. I think that'll be. I think that's our show. I'm happy with what we got done today. I know I'm at least more than halfway done. I just have this section and then the other section. And then maybe something in the gray borders because it seemed to be a bit wobby. I think maybe I pulled and yanked too much. So my own fault. So I need to fix those and maybe tack them down somehow. So maybe I'll fill those with big circles or something. You never know. You never know. This is cream on cream as well as white with variegated colors. Looks amazing. Thank you, Jenny. I'm glad you like the borders. It was, like I said, collaboration from a lot of people, which was greatly appreciated. Yes. Like little houses. It could very well look like little houses. Just a couple of chimneys on top, and you're good to go. So, oh, sorry, so Pat. You'll have to watch from the beginning because we're almost done. We're pretty much we are done. But we had fun. So here, I'll show this to you before we all disappear. That's the border that we decided on. This out of the way here. See a bit more. Okay, well that's the one side, and then there's some pictures that show the other side too. So, and Pop said he'll play the pictures at the end again. So, okay, so you get to see them. So, thank you very much for everybody who partaked and came and showed up and chatted and had comments and ideas and laughs and all that sort of fun stuff. No, we really do appreciate it. We look forward to Sundays around here. We have for the past 6 weeks, so and we're looking forward to them for every hour because you're kind of stuck with us now. Really, we're kind of used to this. It's a routine. It's Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. So hopefully I make at least some of your weekends because I know you guys are making mine. Oh, you can totally enjoy dinner. All right, sorry, so Pat, you missed out on the chats and stuff. But thank you everybody who showed up and the ones who stayed up late and got up early, and you know, we really appreciate it. Thanks and big hugs and loves from all of us at the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop. Have a great rest of the weekend and this long weekend for some of us here. And we'll see you on Wednesday when we're quilting up. Hold on. Did I tuck it under here? Oh, I did. Hold on. Where we're going to quilt up this. There we go. Okay. That'll be long on Wednesday. Okay. So we will see you then. Have a great one. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for showing up and sticking around. And sorry we were late. Cable issues. Hopefully we don't have it again. Bye.